The lines have been drawn. Rupert Lowe has thrown down a challenge he says will redefine Britain's future, unveiling what he calls the most sweeping removal policy ever proposed in the UK. And this isn't framed as empty rhetoric, it's positioned as decisive action. The plan pledges the removal of more than 2 million individuals residing in the country unlawfully, marking what supporters describe as a direct confrontation with years of mounting disorder and policy drift. This isn't a passing remark or a cautious proposal, it's a bold, high-stakes move designed to signal control, authority, and an uncompromising shift in direction for the nation.
Good morning, everybody. It's a very exciting day for Restore Britain. We've just produced our first piece of in-depth, detailed research on a topic which is closest to the heart of our membership, who voted for this to be the subject of our first piece of research. It's entitled Mass Deportations, Legitimacy, Legality, and Logistics. So it's been done by my team. I'm incredibly proud of all of them. It's been a huge piece of work. It's not a soundbite. It's not a one-sider. This is a serious read. And I would urge everybody who is concerned about this issue to wade through it. And I think you'll find it quite enlightening. It looks at the constitutional and legal reasons why we have a problem. And it then goes on to talk in detail about what needs to be done to solve the problem legally, and also then logistically deal with what has become a massive problem. It will save the country, in our view, conservatively £15 billion a year. That's very conservative. And therefore obviate the need for more statism, more tax increases, more government, more incompetence, and a general malaise which is currently besetting Britain. It requires political will, and it requires the right people in charge in order to deliver this. But I think you'll all find it very enlightening, and I would urge everybody, put a cold towel on your head and have a serious read. Enjoy.
Here's where the temperature really rises. Restore Britain isn't even a registered political party yet. It calls itself a movement, built without cushy seats in Westminster or quiet backroom negotiations, driven instead by a blunt promise to reclaim control of the country's direction. And then there's the blueprint, a 113-page removal strategy that's reportedly tougher and more detailed than Reform's own proposal. It doesn't just tweak policy, it questions international frameworks and vows to remove every person living in the UK unlawfully within 3 years, rather than the 600,000 over a full parliamentary term that Reform outlined. This isn't being pitched as routine paperwork, it's framed as a line in the sand, a forceful declaration that, in their view, Britain's tolerance has reached its limit.
We had a vote of our membership, which is growing fast. Our objective is to unite common sense thought in this country. I know we're called far right, but actually we're not. We're just common sense people who want their country back. We want to unite that, because the more people who unite round that banner, the more power we will have to make common sense prevail. And we took the view, we had a vote, and the most important issue as far as our membership was concerned was mass deportation, which, as you know, originally was at the root cause of Nigel Farage's disapproval of the speeches I was making in Parliament, which I think has actually moved the Overton window, and even the Tory party is now talking about deportation, which is great. So we wanted, once we'd had the vote, we wanted to produce a paper that didn't just rely on a soundbite. We wanted to actually do the work to analyse what the issues are that have created the situation that the woke judiciary are able to effectively protect people who are here illegally with the insane judgments that we keep getting. And once we'd identify those issues and we'd put forward a proposal as to how we deal with the, if you like, the legislation that's necessary, what we then put forward is a series of proposals as to how we actually ensure that this deportation takes place.
This is where Robert's plan hits maximum intensity. He's not floating small adjustments or cosmetic fixes. He's pushing for a relentless enforcement strategy designed to make unlawful residence virtually impossible. The proposal centers on creating extreme internal pressure to drive large-scale voluntary departures, backed by up to 200,000 enforced removals every year. In his view, this isn't policy fine-tuning, it's a full-force reset meant to flip the tide fast and restore control with uncompromising resolve.
What we need to create is a hostile environment. That's the first thing to do, which as you see, we put forward. And that in itself will, I think, encourage a lot of people to go voluntarily. And after that, then we have to turn up the screw. And we have to ensure that illegal means illegal. We have to protect the electorate, the honest, decent tax-paying electorate. We have to protect those businesses that are being damaged by employment of illegal migrants. We have to ensure that the Homelessness Reduction Act, which means that the NHS and other government agencies don't collect the data they should be collecting and don't identify those people who are abusing the British, if you like, the largesse or the kindness of the British taxpayer. So the NHS very often treats people illegal, and the Homelessness Reduction Act allows them not to collect that data and to treat people who don't deserve or aren't eligible to be treated.
And here's the real headline grabber. The documents outline what they describe as a deportation NATO, a Western-wide border security alliance that would treat unlawful migration as a collective challenge. The concept is blunt but strategic. If a country refuses to accept the return of its nationals, it would face escalating consequences: visa restrictions, travel suspensions, frozen aid, trade pressure, even tighter controls on financial flows. The calculation is straightforward: make non-cooperation so costly and politically uncomfortable that governments have no choice but to comply. This isn't traditional diplomacy, it's hard-edged leverage on a global stage. And it raises the stakes dramatically for Reform UK, because whether or not Nigel Farage and Rupert Lowe are close allies, they're competing for the same ground and the same voters ahead of the next Westminster race. For a party positioning itself as the future of British politics, being overshadowed by a rising movement is the last scenario it wants. The pressure is mounting, the rivalry is sharpening, and this time Rupert Lowe is moving on to the offensive.
Dan told me to take the word mass out of one of my speeches because it offended him, which I did do. He also tried to, I sat in a hotel room with him in Kemi's constituency. He also tried to stop me talking about deporting all those people who were involved in any way with the Pakistani rape gangs, families, anybody who knew what was happening and didn't basically bring it to the attention of the authorities. They should also, if they're foreign nationals, they should also be deported. And he didn't like that either. So I do think he's changed his tune a bit recently.
Whether it's Reform UK, Restore Britain, or Advance UK, one reality is becoming harder to dismiss. A growing number of Britons believe unlawful immigration is no longer just a debate point, it's a central issue shaping the country's direction. Yes, some will still turn it into political spectacle, riding waves of frustration for attention. But for figures like Rupert Lowe, it's framed as a deep-rooted national priority, not a passing headline. The momentum is building, public awareness is sharpening, and rival groups are converging on the same battleground. Now it's no longer about who talks the toughest, it's about who can actually follow through. The spotlight is on, the pressure is rising, and the electorate is watching every move. So the question stands, who are you backing? Share your view below.